What if an entire human life, a whole story of love, loss, and finding meaning, was secretly hiding inside a simple list of words? It sounds impossible, right? But you'd be amazed what you can find when you look closely. Before we dive in, if you enjoy stories like this, please go ahead and follow the channel and share this. It genuinely helps this community grow and allows me to create more stories just like this one for you. Okay, let's begin.
Everything starts here, a new beginning. You know, that first blank page of a story that hasn't been written yet. There's just silence, an endless possibility.
And then life arrives, a newborn, so small and just full of unspoken potential. The world is this big, beautiful blur of shapes and sounds and light, a symphony of feelings with no names, not yet.
And it doesn't take long for that unspoken potential to just blossom into pure, simple joy, a happy child. For them, the world isn't about rules or limits. It's just this huge, open playground waiting to be explored.
The days just fill up with laughter and that easy connection you only find in childhood. This is really where we learn the first rules of life. Not from books, but from the simple logic of a game, of sharing, taking turns. In this part of the story, the world itself just feels so bright and innocent. Everything is bursting with vibrant color, kind of like spring flowers right after the rain, when every little detail is so sharp and new. But then, of course, the world starts to expand. The playground slowly gives way to the classroom. It's time to go to school, to learn that underneath all the chaos, there's a structure, a system of knowledge just waiting for you. And a huge part of that is learning a language. It's about finding the words to name all the things around you, and, maybe more importantly, to describe the world that's growing inside your own mind. And once you have that new voice to express yourself, you find your people, a group of friends, the ones who walk the path with you, turning what could be a lonely journey into a shared adventure. But eventually, the world outside your hometown starts to call. That quiet whisper of what else is out there. It gets a little louder. And soon that whisper becomes a dream, and that dream turns into a travel plan.
The goal is so simple and so huge at the same time: to see it all, to travel the world, to leave your own small footprints on some distant, unfamiliar shore. The real adventure is just getting started.
And along the way, there are these moments of just pure triumph. I'm talking about that feeling of reaching the top of the mountain, looking down at the world, and for a second seeing everything with this startling, perfect clarity.
It's a feeling of infinite possibility, you know? The sense that your future is as wide open as a clear blue sky, with absolutely no ceiling in sight.
And then, right in the middle of all that adventure, the most unexpected journey begins. You meet a person, and just like that, they change the entire map of your life.
And you realize pretty fast that what you found isn't just some fleeting connection. No, this is something rare. It's profound. It's true love. It feels like coming home. Your life isn't just your own anymore. It becomes this beautiful collection of shared memories, quiet little rituals, and inside jokes. You're not just living in the world anymore. You're building a world just for the two of you. You're doing so much more than just sharing moments. You are literally building a bridge between two separate souls, creating this connection that feels strong enough to last forever. But the outside world doesn't always honor the things we build. The sky darkens, and it's not a storm. It's something so much worse. Times of war arrive, and in an instant, everything changes. A sudden, deafening impact. A strong, violent blow that doesn't just break a window. It shatters the entire world you knew, in a single, irreversible moment. And the aftermath is a feeling that's so universal, but at the same time feels completely isolating. That raw, physical ache of a broken heart. What comes next isn't some loud event. It's a long, quiet process. There's nothing to do but just put one foot in front of the other and endure the pain. Eventually, the shock starts to fade, and this stark, undeniable reality settles in. You look across that chasm where the bridge used to be, and you realize the other half has gone. And what's left in its place is the loudest thing you've ever heard in your life, a deep, profound, echoing silence. After the storm finally passes and that silence has settled in, there's a quiet turning inward, a moment of deep introspection, of asking that one question that has no easy answer. Why? So you begin a new search, not for adventure out in the world, but for some kind of truth in the complex inner landscape of your own heart and your memories. Slowly, and I mean really agonizingly slowly, you begin to heal. You learn that healing isn't about forgetting what you've lost. It's about choosing to cultivate resilience around that memory.
And at some point, the search shifts. You realize you might never find the answers you're looking for. So the quest becomes something deeper, to somehow find meaning in everything that happened.
And then, one day, after a long winter, you do. A new sense of life begins to bloom. Not in spite of the past, but because of it, colored and enriched by everything that came before.
Okay, and here is the most incredible part. Where did this entire story come from? Well, every key moment you just heard, newborn, happy child, travel, true love, times of war, broken heart, finding meaning, was pulled in order from a completely random Spanish vocabulary list. The story wasn't written by anyone. It was discovered, hiding in the data. The story began the moment we saw the pattern. These aren't just words. They are the literal building blocks of the human experience.
And like all stories built from these essential blocks, this one too has to reach its final chapter. The last day arrives.
The final destination. It's an end to one journey, sure, but the story itself, that doesn't just disappear. It continues to echo.
Because what is a life, after all, if not a collection of words, lived in a certain order? A story that, once it's told, becomes a source of inspiration for everyone else. If this story moved you or made you think differently, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure to follow for more stories like this one, hidden in plain sight.